Assalamu alaikum everyone, my name's Farah Halaby and I'm a professional Muslim life coach, and tonight I'd like to ask you, how sorry is sorry? What does the word sorry mean for you? If you have experienced someone close in your world, in your life, that has done something wrong, that has upset you, annoyed you, that has done something to cheese you off, and they apologise, at what point is that apology enough? How sorry do they have to be, or how sorry do they have to show that they are, or how sorry do they have to prove that they are to you for you to be okay? So let's just take for example, if children, if our kids, or if you see children, bickering or fighting, or doing something to the other person, to the other sibling, that isn't a kind behaviour. They're snatching, they're whatever it is that they're doing, and the go-to expectation is that say sorry. If you did something wrong there, say sorry. And how many times have your children said sorry in a way that you think, don't really mean that, do you? Just saying that. But if the expectation or the norm or what is expected of them has been to apologise, how do they know how sorry to be? And how do they know how sorry, or how that apology, how that level of I'm really, really, really sorry needs, how much, how many times they need to say sorry, how they need to say sorry, in what tone, in what way would be acceptable to you to accept that apology? Now, with kids, might be different. Might be a different, a sorry, at least they've acknowledged it, at least they've said it, fine. What if it's your other half? What if it's your spouse? What if they have done something to upset you? They have, I don't know, they've either done something or not done something which has upset you. They've said something, they've forgotten something, they have, whatever it is that they've done, whatever it is that they've said, whatever it is that they've facilitated or brought into being, that has got right on your nerves and you're a bit knocked about it. And so you're going, the story building in your head is, we've done this, this and this, and then it doesn't even care that I'm upset. Doesn't seem to see that I'm, he should just know. I'm not going to talk to him now. That'll teach him. He'll know then. And he's going on, or she is going on their merry little way, living their life, and you're sitting there getting more and more cheesed off, more and more upset, more and more indignant that they should apologise right now, and that you're not going to be nice to them, you're not going to be okay with them, you're going to give them the cold shoulder, you're going to give them one-word answers, or when they do that thing, you okay, what's up? And you give them that look as if to say, well, you should know. Don't you realise? Have you got no clue? What do you mean, what's up? You should just know. What's up is you, mate. But if they don't, and they carry on their lives, and you're getting more and more upset and more cheesed off, and the story is growing. Now, not only have they done something to upset you, they are purposefully going around not showing any remorse. And they can see how upset you are. They can see that you're not very happy. You're not giving them eye contact, or you're doing the eye roll, or you're ignoring them, or you're actually in their space but not interacting. Purposefully not interacting. Purposefully, sorry, my little girl just walked in, purposefully ignoring them back. And all the while, the story is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm just in a live, my lovely girl, won't be long. You okay?
My leg stopped hurting.
All right, my lovely girl. I'll come and help you in a tick. Or do you want to sit next to me?
Yeah.
All right. So all the while, the story is getting bigger and bigger in your mind. They're oblivious, and then they're like, okay, look, whatever it is, I'm sorry. Whatever it is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you think I upset you. That's a great one. Do you accept that apology? Do you take that as everything's all forgiven now? It's all right. You've said sorry. That's fine. You've acknowledged it. Or do they have to prove how sorry they are? Do they have to say it in just the right tone, with just the right words, in just the right speed, with just the right body language, with just the right conviction that tells you that they are sorry? And what is just the right dose of sorry for you? So I'll ask you, what is it? Do you do that? Do you know what dosage of sorry is required for you to be okay? And what do you do in the absence of an apology? Or what do you do in the absence of an apology that you believe, that you trust is just the right amount of sorry to fit the misdemeanor, to fit what they've done wrong, to fit the crime? How sorry is sorry? And is there any kind of consequence to how long it's taken them to apologise, if they apologise at all? Is there a consequence to the level of apology if they apologise at all? What's the correct dosage for sorry, and who makes that up? How do you decide how sorry someone needs to be, or how sorry they need to make you believe that they are? Now, as always, I know I've asked you more questions than actually, talking about it. But what comes up for you? What comes up for you? Think about the last time you had you got upset by someone close to you. Pick a relationship that means a lot to you, that you might be challenged with at the moment. You might be going through a bit of a rough patch. It's not going the way that you want it to go. Different techniques, trying different strategies, but there's a misconnection, because that's what relationships are. They're connections. That's essentially what they are. So if there's something not quite right with that connection, sorry, it just went off. I'm not too sure what the last thing I said was that you heard, so I'll ask again. Relationships are connections. And if there's something a bit foggy in that connection, if there's something that's a little bit kind of misaligned in that connection, you're communicating, there's lots of communicating, but there's no understanding. The messages aren't getting through. It's like the words are literally getting lost in translation. How do you interpret? How do you decipher? How do you determine the level of sorry that you need in that given moment? And think about a relationship that is challenging you right now. Is that a thing for you? Because what is it that you're looking for? What does that sorry mean for you? What does that sorry make you feel? What do you think that sorry will make you feel? What do you think that apology says about you? Is it just the words? What's the meaning behind them? What do you want to feel? Or what feeling for you to feel would give you the impression that sorry is okay, that's a good sorry, that's an acceptable apology? What are your parameters of accepting someone's apology? What does an accepted apology feel like for you? And again, I've asked you lots of questions, but I'm quite an ace Parker. So I'll ask you, how sorry is sorry? How sorry does someone have to be? How sorry does someone have to make you believe that they are in order for you to be okay? And in the absence of a sorry, where does that leave you? I'd love to know, because in the relationship coaching that I do with my clients, again, all relationships, whether it be with your spouse, your kids, colleagues, family, community, it's the way that you connect to another person. And certain roles have quite specific frameworks, like the way you relate to your children, the way you relate to your colleagues, to your professional people, the way that you relate to your spouse, the way that you relate to your parents, to your siblings, to your family, to your friends, the way that you show up in those relationships. It's all about how you connect to them and how you feel the connection from them to you. Not how they're actually connecting, but how you interpret, how you accept, how you receive that connection. And the different roles that we have, they're quite specific. There are quite specific rules that we've made up, but there are quite specific frameworks. But essentially the connection is the connection because it's you that's doing the receiving of the way in which people relate to you, whether it be through their actions, their words, their intentions. But you don't know for certain, you don't know with 100% clarity what someone else is thinking. You don't know, you can't control what they're thinking, you can't control what they're doing. You're making it up we're all making it up as we go along. We're trying to work out the actions of others. We're trying to work out what those words mean. We're trying to work out what's going on when we're presented with a behaviour, when we're presented with words, or when we're presented with a situation. We're trying to work out what it all means, and we will work it out in a way that makes absolute sense to us and go with that. But the other person has no idea, hasn't got a clue. So, and I've kind of got off topic here a little bit, but going back to the way in which my clients and I really unveil and uncover what is really going on, the stories, the narrative, the perspective, if you think about what's going on in your mind is like speech bubbles, like what's in those speech bubbles when it's not actually being said, what is going around in here and in here, and shedding all of the assumptions, shedding all of the, well, it could have been that, or I think he meant that, or I think she meant this, or it seemed as if they were doing a bit of, whatever. And we shed all of those assumptions, and we work on absolute verifiable truth, fact, what is irrefutable. And 9 times out of 10, or 99.9% of what goes on in here is going to be opinion, is going to be assumption, is going to be how we've interpreted, is going to be what we've deduced to mean. Very little of it will be fact, irrefutable truth. And when we're dealing with opinions and assumptions, we're not going to have, we're not going to be hitting the bullseye at all. We're just going to be skirting around the issue. And then when we're feeling, well, they've really upset me, and I need an apology. I need them to acknowledge how I'm feeling. I need them to say sorry. I need them to apologise. I need to make them aware that they have really, really got on my nerves. And I don't want to hear the why. I don't want to really understand why. I just want them to know. The other person, living their life oblivious. So when we go to what we can have an effect on, what we can control, others act, think or feel, but what we can control is how we feel about what other people do. That's the bit that we can. Our perception, how we think, what we're making up, our opinions, our minds. And when we do the work there, when I'm with my clients and we do this really delving deep into us, we come to, or we uncover, percolating beliefs, erroneous things that have kind of just floated around for so long, habitual go-to narratives that don't really have much to do with what is going on currently, but it has been almost a trigger for an old habitual belief about themselves. So again, how sorry is sorry? Is there, do you know just the right mixture of sorry, remorse, regret, apology, promises not to do it next time, working through and accepting and like really understanding where you're coming from? What is the correct dosage? What's the absolute star mix of sorry? It's quantity, it's dosage, it's how it's delivered, the tone. What is that for you? Because I'm betting my hijab that there isn't one. There isn't one 100% crystal clear gold star apology or sorry formula. It's how you feel at the time. So I'll leave you to reflect and ponder on that. And next time that you're having a bit of a pants day, let's just say, and someone's really getting on your nerves, and you are fully expecting, an apology, you really need it. What is it that you really want? Is it the sorry? Or what's the feeling that you really want to feel? I feel like I have been speaking for an awful long time now, so I'm going to go and sort my daughter out. But as always, I pray that you are safe, well, happy and healthy. And I will see you again tomorrow for another little convo. But for now, take care. Assalamu alaikum.